Alright then, so it is Christmas, which means we need to make some Christmas recipes. Now, we're not gonna spend the whole day in the kitchen, we're gonna spend 1 hour. This is gonna be a very simple but delicious 1 hour Christmas recipe. So you're gonna have 4 courses. I'm gonna show you all the step-by-steps and you can follow along and you can do this in about an hour. Now for me it's probably gonna take about an hour and 10 minutes because I need to move the cameras around and obviously I need to talk during the process as well, but it shouldn't take longer than 1 hour. So if you follow my instructions, it's going to be very simple, very easy to make, and you can impress your guests. Now another thing is that you can scale up this recipe as much as you want. You can double it, triple it, 4 times, quadruple it, do whatever you want. So if you want to make it less or more, it's entirely up to you. All the ingredients and measurements are going to be in the description, as well as on my website that you can check out in the description. You can follow the link and you can check out the actual website with written instructions as well. So let's jump into it. Welcome back to Binging with Babish. Well, not really, but I thought this style is going to look much better on a longer video. So this is what we're gonna do basically from this angle. Now first we need to add some whipping cream, and then we're gonna add granulated sugar, and we're gonna have a dash of vanilla extract. Then we're gonna start whipping this cream. Now the key is not to over whip it. We don't want it to be hard peaks, we want them to be soft peaks, because later on we're gonna add the mascarpone cream, and it's going to be equal parts mascarpone and equal parts heavy cream as well. Then we're going to start whipping this one until we get roughly hard peaks. You can see the consistency there on the picture right now. So that's the consistency that we are looking for basically. Then we're going to combine coffee and coffee liqueur. I'm using Kahlua here because this is what I have at home, and this is a fairly mellow coffee liqueur. So we're gonna stir this up, and then we're gonna get our Ladyfingers. Now you can make your own Ladyfingers, however, since this is a 1 hour recipe, we're gonna use store-bought Ladyfingers. Now another sin that we're gonna commit is breaking these up, because we are putting them in a glass. Then we're gonna give them a quick dip and put them in our glass. The reason why we are using glass is because we're going to put this in the fridge and we only have 1 hour and they need to cool down first. Then we're going to put our first layer of cream and we're going to even it out. We try to make it as flat as possible. Then we're gonna come behind with the second layer of Ladyfingers, the second layer of cream, and we're gonna give it a generous dusting of cocoa powder. And that's basically the dessert for today. And it only took us about 7 to 8 minutes to make this one. So this is where things are going to get a little complicated, but nothing too serious. So we're gonna take our chicken breast. I like to clean it up and remove these white bits and things like that, and then I cut the part off that is kind of sticking out, and then lengthwise I'm gonna cut it again just so I can get uniformed pieces, so they are the same size, so they cook evenly, so there's no raw pieces or overcooked pieces. As you can see, I cut off all the things that are sort of kind of hanging off. Then I'm going to season it with dried basil, and the reason for that is because in the mixture, the liquid, it's gonna rehydrate and it's gonna give a nice flavor. Then obviously I season it with black pepper as well, and I'm gonna wrap it up in prosciutto. And after that, I am going to lay all of this in a baking dish, and I'm gonna add a bit of butter on top, and then I'm going to cover it with aluminum foil just so the prosciutto doesn't burn at the beginning. And then I'm going to stick it in the air fryer because I don't actually have an oven in this house. So I'm going to put it in the air fryer at 145 degrees Celsius, and the reason for that is because the butter's smoking point is around 150. So first I want to sort of kind of clarify the butter, and I also want the prosciutto to give a bit of fat, so that way it mixes up. And when I put it back in at 190 for about 7 to 8 minutes, so the top bit browns a bit, it doesn't burn the butter. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to peel the potatoes, and then we're going to cut it up into uniformed pieces. And then we're going to put it in a pot, and we're going to fill it up with cold water. Then we're going to season it with salt and a bay leaf, and we let this one cook for about 12 to 14 minutes, or until they are fork tender. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to chop up the broccoli. This is going to be our first course. As you can see, I'm not really concerned about the sizes, as long as they cook properly. That's all that really matters. So I have two things going at the same time, and after this we're gonna blend up our broccoli soup. So we're gonna use the same water that we used to boil the broccolis. We don't want to put too much in because we don't want it too watery. We kind of want this creamy, velvety consistency. I'm using a stick blender. If you have a standing one, you can use that one. It's entirely up to you. As you can see, this one has a nice consistency. Just gonna clean up a little bit. Then we're gonna get goat's cheese, which is something that I really like. It has a unique flavor. If it's not your thing, then use a different type of cheese, something that melts nicely. Now I did dip the knife in the hot water just so it doesn't crumble the goat's cheese, and as you can see, I'm smoothing it out on the top. And then I'm gonna get some pistachio nuts, and this is gonna go at the bottom of the plate. So we're going to start plating nuts at the bottom, and then we're going to add the goat's cheese, freshly ground black pepper, and then we're going to slowly pour the broccoli soup in. As you can see, I'm very careful because I don't want to just dump it all over the place, but you can see it has a really nice consistency. And then we're going to tap the plate a few times just so it evens out. As you can see, there's still one slice of goat cheese on top, and then we're going to top it with a bit of olive oil. Now we are moving on to our potatoes. So we're going to get some parsley. As you can see, I have it in this container so it keeps it fresh. I have 2 wet paper towels. I've been having this parsley for like 5 days now, and it still looks super fresh and super green. Then we're gonna chop it up very finely, as you can see. So we're gonna go over it a few times just so it's nice and fine. There are no big bits basically. Then we're gonna get our cooked potatoes, and we're gonna pour some melted butter on top, and we're gonna season it with black pepper, and then we're gonna dump our parsley on top, and very, very carefully we're gonna mix this one up. We don't want to mix it vigorously because we don't want to break the potatoes. We just want to coat them in this buttery mixture. Then we're gonna get our carrots ready. So these are all washed baby carrots basically. I'm gonna chop the ends and the tops off, and then I'm going to season it with sea salt, black pepper, chili flakes, and I'm going to drizzle some honey over it. Then this is going to go into the air fryer for about 15 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. Now the next thing that we're going to do is the balsamic reduction. So we're going to pour in some balsamic vinegar and about 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. Then we're going to do the spoon test, and we're going to see if the consistency is right. I'm happy with it. So we're going to start plating potatoes first, generous amount, and then we're going to put our little logs, our carrots, and then we're going to drizzle the balsamic reduction on the prosciutto wrapped chicken. Now the next thing and the last one is our cheese board. So we're gonna have Brie cheese. That's gonna be the first cheese that we're gonna put on top, and then we're gonna have an aged cheddar, and we're gonna slice it up into cubes. And the third type of cheese is gonna be a Gouda. This is a much softer cheese compared to the cheddar, but not as soft as the Brie. Then we're gonna quarter some pickles, and we're also gonna put this on the cheese board. And some unpeeled pistachio, some soda crackers as well, and a beautiful runny honeycomb to top it all off. And on the way out, I'm going to realize that I forgot to put the prosciutto on, so in the next shot you will see it, but not in this one. So yeah, that's the 1 hour Christmas meal that you can whip up on the 24th, 25th, doesn't matter if you want to impress someone. This is a really nice way of doing it. It's not super expensive either, unless you want to, you know, throw a lot of money on cheese, on the cheese board and things like that. But generally speaking, this is a very simple, very affordable, and very easy to make 4-course Christmas meal. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Merry Christmas to all of you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye.